The Silenced Promise. The Celeste Murder Case Prologue. Shattered dawn, the dead of night. A desolate home on the outskirts of Melbourne. A window smashes. A woman's scream pierces the silence. Sharp, then cut short. Inside, 24-year-old Celeste lies in a pool of blood. 23 stab wounds mar her body. Her mother, standing feet from the horror, locks eyes with the fleeing figure. By the time police arrive, the killer is gone. All that remains is a crime scene stained with unspeakable violence. Act 1. The Light That Faded Celeste was born in Italy on November 22, 1996, but grew up in Melbourne, Australia. Her roots split, but her spirit unshakable. She had a younger brother, a half-brother, and parents who divorced when she was young. Her mother remarried, weaving a complex family tapestry. But Celeste's bond with her mother, Aggie, was unbreakable. They were more than mother and daughter. They were confidants, best friends, sharing every dream and fear. Brilliance came naturally to Celeste. A straight-A student, she attended Lawler Secondary College before earning a spot at RMIT University, where she majored in criminology and psychology. Her goal? To become a psychologist. A dream she chased with quiet determination, even when the path grew steep. After graduation, she took a job at a customer service center, starting as a representative. But her quick mind, work ethic, and warmth set her apart. In less than a year, she was promoted to team leader, training new hires, managing performance, and earning the respect of every colleague. To them, she was more than a supervisor. She was the one who listened, who helped, who turned stressful days into bearable ones. To friends and family, she was the bright spot. Funny, outgoing, always ready to lift others up. In October 2020, Celeste met Chris. Their romance was quick, sweet. She posted their first photo on Instagram a month later, beaming into the camera. November 22nd loomed, her 24th birthday. She'd planned to spend it with Chris, celebrating the life she'd built and the future she imagined. 6 days before that birthday, fate shattered everything. Act 2. The night the screams stopped. 3:40 a.m., November 16th, 2020. A 911 call shattered Melbourne's stillness. The voice on the line, Aggie's, trembled, ragged with terror. "Help! My daughter. She's covered in blood. Someone broke in, stabbed her. Please hurry." Dispatchers knew instantly. This was the emergency. They sent patrol cars and paramedics, sirens wailing through the dark. 3 minutes later, police arrived at Unit 5, Murda Umbria Road. 2 minutes after that, paramedics rushed inside. It was too late. Celeste had no pulse, no breath. She was declared dead on the spot. Police sealed the neighborhood, yellow tape cutting off the world from the horror within. They combed the scene. A broken window, forced entry, tiny droplets of blood on the front lawn and street, smudges on the fence. The killer was hurt. He'd run, panicked. The autopsy told a grimmer story. 23 stab wounds, 4 to the heart and neck, precision, rage, a determination to kill. This wasn't a random attack. It was personal. It was hatred. Act 3. The face behind the shadow, Aggie, still reeling, gave police the first break. Through tears that wouldn't stop, she named the killer. Louis, Celeste's former colleague. She recounted the night. 3:36 a.m. Asleep in the back bedroom with her husband. A crash, glass breaking. Then Celeste's scream, "Mom!" Aggie ran down the dark hallway toward her daughter's room. At the doorway, she saw it. A dark figure climbing through the broken window, vanishing into the night. Inside, Celeste lay on the floor, blood everywhere, deep, gaping wounds. Aggie screamed for her husband, pressed her hands to the wounds to stop the bleeding, but it was useless. She held her daughter as Celeste took her last breath. Aggie didn't just see a shadow. She saw Louis. For a year, he'd haunted Celeste, stalking her, sending her messages, first sweet, then threatening. The mother and daughter lived in fear, always looking over their shoulders. Police acted fast. Neighbors' security cameras matched Aggie's description. K-9 units tracked Louay's path. But the twist came quickly. Louay didn't run far. He drove himself to the nearest police station and turned himself in. A search of his car uncovered the evidence. A hammer for the window, a blood-stained knife, gloves with Celeste's DNA. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was premeditated, planned. Act 4. The making of a monster. Louay was 35 when he killed Celeste. Born in Iraq in 1984, he was the oldest of 6 children. His Christian family fled Iraq's violence in 1992, spending time in a Turkish refugee camp before settling in Melbourne's Roxburgh Park, 20 kilometers from Celeste's home. As a child, Louay excelled at math, a glimmer of potential. But by high school, he withdrew, quiet, isolated, no friends, a stranger in his own skin. In 2019, he got a job at Celeste's customer service center. She was his team leader. He was a new hire. 6 months later, he was fired for poor performance. Celeste, ever professional, handled his exit. She wished him well, encouraged him to find something better. Louay misread it badly. He thought her kindness was love. A twisted obsession took root. He began building a fantasy. A life with Celeste, a story that existed only in his head. When he was fired, he created a new Instagram account and flooded Celeste's messages with declarations of love. She rejected him politely, then blocked him. That's when the threats started. New accounts, more messages, this time insults, threats of violence. Celeste grew terrified. For months before her death, she went to police, showing them the texts, the screenshots, the proof of harassment. Police granted her a restraining order. It didn't stop Louay. He went quiet for a while, then resurfaced with a new message. Angry, bitter, claiming he was the victim. Celeste called police again, begging for help. But officers deemed the message not a direct violation of the order. They gave Louay a verbal warning. Nothing more. It was a fatal mistake. Act 5. The plan. A week before the murder, Louay began preparing. He bought a knife and a hammer with cash at a hardware store, then gloves and tape at a supermarket, spreading the purchases to avoid suspicion. He went online, searched for Celeste's address, studied maps of her neighborhood, floor plans of her home. He wanted to know exactly where her bedroom was. He drove to her house repeatedly, scouting the area, planning his escape route. He was waiting for the right moment. Then, Celeste posted the photo. Her and Chris, happy, smiling, their relationship official. For Louay, it was the final straw. The fantasy shattered. Rage took over. On the night of November 15th, he packed his tools into his car. At 3 a.m., he broke into Celeste's home. He didn't hesitate. Act 6. Justice delayed. Not denied. Louay's first court appearance was on October 18, 2020. He was charged with first-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty. The judge denied bail. This was a violent, premeditated crime. He was held in jail until his trial. His defense team tried a Hail Mary, insanity. They claimed Louay heard a voice named S.A. telling him to kill Celeste. 2 psychiatric evaluations followed. The result? Louay had personality disorders, moderate depression, and body dysmorphic disorder, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He planned the murder for weeks, buying tools, scouting the house, waiting for the right night. He wasn't insane. He was pretending. The insanity plea was thrown out. On February 5, 2024, the trial began in Victoria's Supreme Court. For 3 weeks, the jury heard the evidence. The threats, the restraining order, the tools, the DNA, Aggie's testimony. They found Louay guilty, unanimously. The sentence: life in prison. No parole for 30 years. He won't be eligible for release until 2054. Epilogue. The fight goes on in the courtroom. Aggie sat holding a small, glowing blue urn, Celeste's ashes. When the verdict was read, she cried. Not tears of joy, but of relief. Justice at last. Outside the court, she spoke to reporters, her voice breaking. This doesn't bring her back, she said. But it's something. She criticized the police, their inaction, their failure to protect her daughter. If they'd listened, she said, Celeste would still be here. The trauma didn't end with the verdict. Aggie has PTSD. She can't step foot in Celeste's old bedroom. She sold the house a year after the murder. Too many memories, too much pain, but leaving felt like betraying her daughter. But Aggie didn't stop. She turned her grief into action. She speaks at events, warning others about the danger of stalking. She lobbies for stricter laws to protect victims. She started a foundation in Celeste's name, helping over 200 survivors of harassment find legal help. She still thinks about that last night, the hours before the murder, when she and Celeste sat on the couch watching a movie, laughing. It's the memory she clings to, the last moment her daughter was happy. Celeste's dream of helping others died with her. But through Aggie, that dream lives on. A promise kept even when the one who made it is gone.